we are going to get started with something that Diddy and his lawyers knew was coming down the pike eventually, and now it has happened. A new indictment, it's called a superseding indictment. It really replaces the original one that the federal prosecutors had filed against him. And the big headline here is that now they are saying there are 2 more victims.
In a dramatic courtroom moment, Sean Diddy Combs was visibly shaken when prosecutors dropped a surprise that no one, especially his legal team, saw coming. The courtroom fell completely silent. The judge had barely reacted when Diddy's face turned pale. His attorneys leaned in close, whispering, clearly caught off guard. The bombshell? The prosecution revealed they had video evidence involving a young Justin Bieber. The tone in the room changed instantly. This wasn't just another lawsuit or headline. It marked a major turning point. The case against Diddy had already been serious, but it took a new direction with what's called a superseding indictment, basically, an updated version of the original charges filed by federal prosecutors. This new indictment added 2 more alleged victims, expanding the scope of the case and deepening the legal trouble Diddy now faces. For the first time, the music mogul who once seemed untouchable appeared genuinely afraid. According to page 6, the 55-year...
In the meantime, let's talk about the fact that Combs' co-defendant in a civil case, a case, by the way, that accuses him and this co-defendant, another A-lister, of rape. This guy is once again slamming the attorney behind the case, insisting that he be sanctioned for allegedly not doing his job. We're talking, of course, about Sean Carter, better known as Jay-Z, once again calling out attorney Tony Busby, calling out his character, more specifically into question, claiming that the Texas attorney's filings have, quote, substantial inaccuracies and that there was a failure to properly investigate before filing. Now, we've talked about this before, but basically, a civil lawsuit was filed against Sean Combs on behalf of a Jane Doe who says that she was raped by Combs and another celebrity at a home after the Video Music Awards in 2000. She said she was just 13 years old when this happened. And weeks after the initial filing, Busby submitted an amended complaint naming Jay-Z as the celebrity who allegedly participated in this assault
on January 30th and was returned to custody later that night. To understand the weight of this moment, you need to look at the broader picture. Diddy, once a powerhouse in the music industry, is now fighting to protect his name.
Those claims. Anyways, I want to also just show you this montage. This is a montage that was shared by Evie Magazine. They do great work on their TikTok of Justin Bieber, again, just 15 years old, in Hollywood, surrounded by a bunch of adults. And you let me know if any of this registers to you as normal. Take a listen.
Wow. I feel violated right now. Wow.
Lean into me again. You smell amazing. How old are you?
Thank you.
How old are you?
I'm 16. I'll be 17 in like 2 weeks.
I don't ever remember smelling that good at 16. Like that was bad.
Yeah.
Wow, look at your eyes. Look at what a beautiful face. All right.
Public pressure continues to mount. Meanwhile, attention has also turned to a related civil case involving Diddy and another big name, Sean Carter, better known as Jay-Z. The case, filed by attorney Tony Busby on behalf of a woman using the name Jane Doe, accuses Diddy and Jay-Z of raping her at a house party following the 2000 Video Music Awards. She says she was only 13 years old at the time. Jay-Z's legal team has strongly pushed back, claiming the lawsuit includes major errors and that Busby failed to properly investigate before filing. They are asking the court to penalize him for what they call irresponsible legal conduct. As these dark accusations come to light, even some of Diddy's former allies appear to be backing away. And at the center of the growing controversy is footage involving Justin Bieber, just 15 years old at the time.
Justin Bieber turned 15, and it suddenly seemed that Hollywood was keen to almost initiate him. I think that's the right word. Like there was almost like this initiation that he needed to go through. So I want you to be now super uncomfortable and watch this video of an interaction between him and none other than Diddy. Take a listen.
Justin, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, like where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. I have been given custody of him. You know, he signed to Usher.
I'm signed to Usher.
I had legal guardianship of Usher when you know he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So and we gonna go full crazy.
I'm going crazy.
Surrounded by adults in uncomfortable situations. The moments are hard to watch and leave many wondering how this was ever seen as normal. I'm 16, almost 17 in a couple of weeks, a teenage Justin Bieber says in an old clip as someone gushes about how good he smells and compliments.
So young Justin Bieber, who was signed by Usher, involved with Scooter Braun, now all of a sudden he's being put in the hands of Diddy, who, it is true, he became the legal guardian for Usher. You can look up all of the allegations of what Diddy did to Usher. A lot of this coming out via multiple lawsuits that essentially, if we were going to put it in a nice context, or at least use a euphemism for something that's really disgusting, the allegations are essentially that Diddy very much initiated Usher into Hollywood. And as we are going through these lawsuits and Diddy is in prison, we are recognizing that everybody knew this was an open secret about what Diddy was doing. So it just begs question, who allowed Justin Bieber to be in the presence of this man, knowing what he was up to? Allegedly up to. That seems to be very clear, that there is some veracity to those claims.
About Diddy's strange relationship with a young Bieber. After Diddy's arrest in September, those questions turned into serious concerns. Why was Bieber, just a teenager, often seen hanging around a much older Diddy? Why did Diddy talk about their time together like it was some kind?
Now, the defense wanted copies of these videos handed over to them. Not just the ability to view them at like the prosecution's office. They wanted copies of these videos for themselves. And I've talked to lawyers about this before. There's a big advantage to having the electronic video, the electronic evidence yourself, right? You don't have to always go over to the other office. You can view the materials on your own. It's a way to better prepare for your defense. And Sean Combs' lawyers argue that under the federal rules of criminal procedure, if the defendant asks for it, the government has to give a defendant the opportunity to inspect and to copy electronic data that is in the government's possession. Judge Subramanian denied the defense's motion to amend the protective order, but without prejudice, meaning this issue could be revisited. So Subramanian's order reads, quote, "While the government objects to handing the videos over, they provide several options for a defendant to consider that would permit the defense to view the videos, access the information they're looking for, and even allow them to manipulate the videos as they see fit."
And it sent shockwaves across social media. In the clip, Diddy boasts about spending 48 hours with 15-year-old Bieber. He grins at the camera and says, "We can't really disclose what we're doing, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream." Bieber, sitting next to him, plays along, suggesting they go get some girls.
Than Diddy's arrest. A source telling ET the new dad's energy is going towards wife Haley and son Jack. And he's not focused on what is going on with Diddy or the allegations against him.
Combs allegedly planned and controlled the sex performances, which he called freak-offs.
The insider info coming after footage of Diddy and Justin resurfaced on social media. Videos showed the disgraced media mogul alongside teenage Justin, with online sleuths speculating if, at the time, he subjected the pop star to his alleged...
Seemed like a cringeworthy moment between a mogul and his young protege. But now, with Diddy facing multiple serious allegations, the video has taken on a much darker tone. Many are now looking back and asking, why was Bieber placed under Diddy's wing in the first place? The young pop star was signed.
Okay. Justin was signed when he was just 13 years old. And I should mention he was signed by Usher to a label that was owned jointly by both Scooter Braun and Usher. And he was considered Usher's protege. He has been described Usher as his mentor. The Bieber, Justin Bieber, is continuing the purge. He has now moved to unfollow Usher. Okay, his original mentor. So this is a very big story. And the reason why we should discuss this and we should not diminish what is happening, it's not celebrity drama. This is actually the fall of Babylon that we are witnessing, Hollywood Babylon.
Diddy even joked about taking custody of Bieber for those 48 hours, saying something similar had happened with Usher years earlier. In fact, Diddy did briefly serve as a legal guardian for Usher during the singer's early career, a relationship that has now also come under intense scrutiny. Allegations suggest Diddy initiated Usher into Hollywood through disturbing means, and many now wonder if something similar was beginning to unfold with Bieber. As lawsuits pile up and claims against Diddy multiply, some are saying this was never a secret at all, that many people in the industry knew what was going on, but chose to stay quiet. Which brings us back to the courtroom bombshell. Prosecutors recently introduced a video so powerful that Diddy's legal team immediately objected to it being shown. But the judge allowed it. The defense, caught off guard, demanded full copies of the footage.
He did an interview back in 2020 with Zane Lowe. I think this was on Apple Music. And he was speaking about another young artist that was coming up, Billie Eilish, and Eilish. And he was basically speaking about how he wanted to protect her because she was now another young person, a rising artist in the industry. And sort of out of nowhere, he became quite overcome with emotion. Take a listen.
Did you feel protective of her?
Yeah, I definitely feel protective of her. It was hard for me being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn, and everyone, telling me they love me and, just turn their back on you in a second. So yeah, it's hard because I want her to know that, she can count on me. But at the end of the day, I'm never going to force myself to be in a relationship with her. It has to be natural, right? So I just kind of, let her do her thing. And if she ever needs me, I'm going to be here for her. But yeah, just protecting those moments because people take for granted encounters and
I'm not even kidding. Watching that clip makes me emotional because he is saying so much without really saying anything. Protect Billie Eilish from what? From who? What is he so concerned about when he sees this young person in the industry? What exactly did he go through?